It is Monday the 7th of October. Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks for joining us for our forecast looking at the week ahead and the upcoming weekend. Let's kick off with the animated wind map. You can certainly see the westerly flow blowing across the North Island today, brisk in exposed places. Not as windy in the South Island though, but you've still got that west to northwest breeze. Temperatures are certainly lifting up in the east and the north of both of the main islands. But over towards Tassie, big southerly coming through here thanks to a low pressure zone, and that is all moving its way towards New Zealand. That cold front arrives in the south on Tuesday afternoon and evening, and it moves up the country on Wednesday. So let's try and make sense of all of that. Here we are this morning, Monday morning. You can see the wet weather around the top of the North Island. That's that front that was falling apart as it heads northwards. Plenty of showers along the western side. I'm going to animate the next 24 hours. You'll see the rain clear away from the north, and it will start to return to the south by the time we wake up tomorrow morning, and that is the next front. That's the main cold front coming on in. So it starts early in the morning if you're in southwestern, Fiordland, and even parts of Southland, getting some of that spillover rain. Elsewhere, only a couple of isolated showers for the western North Island and the top half of the west coast. Dry pretty much everywhere else. And as we go through Tuesday, that rain band moves up the west coast, moves up the South Island. So this is the rainfall from 9 o'clock Monday morning through to 9 o'clock Wednesday morning, the next 48 hours. Most of the heavy rain over on the west coast, anywhere between 50 and 125 millimetres. So look out for any Met Service warnings as a result of that. Also around the Tararua Range, some heavy falls there, and around central parts of the North Island coming in from the west, some of those showers a bit heavy. But the top of both main islands and the eastern side, mostly dry. And if you're around Dunedin and coastal Otago, the good news is that's not a lot of rain, about 10 millimetres or so coming through. So let's make sense of that. Here is lunchtime Tuesday. Up comes the cold front. Heavy rain on the west coast, a windier westerly flow across New Zealand, especially central New Zealand, so the top half of the South Island, the lower part of the North Island. Those winds might reach severe gale. It's not very cold in the North Island, subtropical winds up here curving around and brushing over the north, but further to the south, that airflow is about to come out of the Southern Ocean, so your temperatures do drop. But look at the temperatures on Tuesday before the cold front. Once again, this is not a main centre temperature map. We've got all your local forecasts every hour for 10 days out on our new app and website. This just shows you a sort of a glance at the country, and what you're seeing is the top and the east into the 22 mark, and these 19s, there'll be parts in Waikato, Auckland, Coromandel that'll get up into the 20s likely. And that 20 degree temperature goes down to Canterbury, even parts of coastal Otago before that cold front comes in, fairly mild. But temperatures will drop behind it because this is how lunchtime Wednesday looks. It's a cooler, colder setup depending on where you are. So the main cold front, lunchtime, that is it there, starting to clear away from the North Island. So it's pretty quick as it zips up New Zealand. The blue line, that marks the colder airflow behind it, so that is moving in to the North Island as we go through Wednesday afternoon. The South Island, fully in the thick of it all. You've got showers, not a huge amount, but showers on the western side and in Southland. In fact, Southland will be taking most of those showers. Some of those will come around into Otago and Dunedin. Don't worry, it's not a major event, but that's where you'll get some of those heavier showers. Potentially a couple of them might be a bit heavy because of that kind of colder nature of them coming through. But many other parts in between are actually quite dry or will be becoming dry. So on Thursday, this is when the cooler air sticks over around the North Island. We do have some showers here moving into the lower half of the North Island, maybe even the upper part of the South Island. So parts of Waitat Upper and Hawke's Bay will feel that temperature drop as well as some of that wet weather, but it's drier elsewhere. And if you live in the lower South Island, there's a west to northwest breeze that picks up on Thursday. Your temperatures start to lift up. Stays that way on Friday. In fact, the westerlies pick up further and they become windier around parts of Otago, maybe some parts of Canterbury as well. Further to the north, few showers remain around the North Island. The winds aren't too strong and they're variable. Easterlies for the eastern side, westerlies for the western side, northerlies around Wellington, so take your pick. But the strongest airflow in the lower part of the South Island. And our final map for Saturday shows a bit of change coming in this weekend. It wouldn't be the middle of spring if it wasn't for the fact we're getting a couple of cold fronts each week. So it's quite normal to see 2 or 3 cold fronts moving through in spring. As we go further into summer, they'll take longer to come in, and you might find there's only one a week, and then eventually into summer, hopefully, less than one per week. That's usually the general trend of it. You see here on Saturday, the next cold front coming in, rain in Fiordland. Rain moves up into southwestland. A couple of showers or a bit of patchy rain spills over into Southland. Won't be very much, and it's mild for pretty much everywhere else with west to northwest winds blowing across the country. But on Saturday, a bit cloudy on the western side of the North Island as well as the South Island, and a few showers are in the mix. That's all from me. Good to be back after the weekend. See you again tomorrow, Tuesday, with our next update.